Here's your wrestling news for December 2nd, 2021. And your headlines for today include WWE may bring back Hall of Famer for Edge vs. Miz storyline, fans call out Bryan Danielson's AEW debut as a masked luchador, Tony Khan announces Bryan Danielson's AEW world title shot, video of WWE employee giving instructions to seat fillers leaked, WWE approached current NXT wrestler about re-signing with the company, current WWE wrestler's contract was extended due to injury, great gesture by Braun Strowman and former WWE superstar, Ric Flair criticizes CM Punk and MJF promo for bringing up WWE, WWE schedules 2 cage matches, WWE NXT star reappears as a different character, and more. We are kicking off today with Raw as both Edge and The Miz return during this week's show, kicking off their new feud. The Miz didn't come alone as his wife Maurice was by his side upon his return, and Edge may be getting some marital backup of his own. PW Insider reports that WWE are interested in doing another couple versus couple storyline, which would require Beth Phoenix returning to the main roster and getting physical in the ring. With Maurice back with the company full-time, and Beth previously saying she's open to the idea of wrestling matches in addition to being a commentator for NXT 2.0, it seems to be just a matter of time before the two get physical in the ring. Edge had little help with his promo last week, as he's allowed a lot more creative freedom than other superstars, and his line about Miz living rent-free in a lot of heads, a reference to CM Punk and MJF who brought up the A-lister last week, was an improvised line. The last major couple versus couple angle saw John Cena and then partner Nikki Bella defeat Miz and Maurice at WrestleMania 33, and we're sure WWE's It Couple are looking for a different result when they inevitably face Edge and the Glamazon. AEW news now as last week's Dark saw Infinito make his debut, a masked luchador who defeated Ray Jazz with an airplane spin and a roll-up. Fans were quick to speculate who the masked mystery man could be, and many argued that with his mannerisms, size, and moveset, that it's Bryan Danielson portraying Infinito. Those fans had a lot of fun with the idea of Danielson being under the mask, with one joking that Infinito is married to former female wrestler Briefinity, a play on Brie Bella. Another joked that it couldn't be Danielson and that, like Cody Rhodes and Fuego 2, the former WWE World Champion and Infinito are two separate people. Rhodes faced accusations of playing the masked character after Fuego 2 debuted during an October taping of AEW Dark, and while the company has kept quiet on these rumors, now Bryan will have to face similar accusations. Danielson may or may not be Infinito, but under his real name, he's the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. Earning a shot at Full Gear, Tony Khan has now announced that this title match will see Danielson challenge Adam Page on the December 15th Winter is Coming edition of Dynamite. We'll have to wait and see if Bryan can become the next AEW World Champion, as Page's journey to the gold was a long one, but the American Dragon intends on making his reign a very short one. Back to WWE, as the company is known for using seat fillers during shows who fill in empty seats when fans get up to go to the bathroom or for refreshments. The idea is to look like the arena is always full, at least as far as the camera can see, and now new footage has emerged detailing the rules laid out to these seat fillers. On Twitter, user @MachoBeardForLife shared 2 undercover videos, which shows a WWE employee giving instructions to fillers, as well as what to say when they're confronted by the person who paid for that seat. Somebody who paid a lot of money for the seat you're sitting in comes back and is very confused as to why you're sitting there. Kindly and politely explain, "Hey listen, I'm a seat filler, I'm with WWE, I'm only sitting here until you get back." Most of the time, that'll solve all problems. The representative for WWE also gave instructions to those seat fillers who get a front row experience, saying that under no circumstances should they even think about hugging Carmella or touching Finn Balor's shredded abs. This rule applies to all superstars, and the fillers were also told not to throw anything at the talent. These videos gave an interesting look into a process most people will never experience, and we imagine WWE are being extra careful who they choose after the attack on Seth Rollins. It's interesting that WWE realized that fans who paid for seats won't be thrilled to see someone in their spot, so if you ever notice a change in the crowd at future WWE events, now you know why. In September, WWE revamped NXT into NXT 2.0, in arguably the biggest change to the show and its roster since the 2012 relaunch of the original reality show into its own brand. NXT 2.0 has already gone through a dramatic change in its roster, losing names like Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, and Adam Cole in favor of Von Wagner, Braun Breaker, and Joe Gacy. Now, Fightful report that in 2019, Kyle O'Reilly passed on a new deal for the then Gold brand, and this resulted in his deal winding down, and it'll expire before the end of the year. The fact that his contract will expire soon was reportedly a surprise for O'Reilly, and while the company has approached him about a new deal, it's unclear whether a brand new contract has been signed. O'Reilly isn't the only big name NXT 2.0 could lose very soon, as Johnny Gargano's deal with NXT is up next week, and would have expired tomorrow had a one-week extension not been agreed, allowing him to work War Games this Sunday. Ultimately, it's O'Reilly's decision as to whether he stays in NXT 2.0 or not, but with one half of the Undisputed Era already in AEW, WWE is hoping to keep anyone else from making the move to Tony Khan's company. WWE may be losing Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano later this month, but one name they've maintained hold of is NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. In another report by Fightful Select, it was noted that Ciampa also did not ink a new deal in 2019 when given the opportunity, but he'll be around for longer than Gargano or O'Reilly. That's because of Ciampa's history of injuries, as because he was on the shelf for so long, his deal was extended in order for him to actively be working during his entire agreed contract length. In March 2019, Ciampa suffered a neck injury that nearly ended his career, and in addition to vacating the NXT title, was kept out of action until October that year. With 7 months added to his contract, WWE has more time to work on a deal that'll entice the current NXT champion into staying, but like O'Reilly, it'll ultimately be Ciampa's choice when the time eventually runs out. This year, Braun Strowman was released from his WWE contract, and the former Universal Champion has worked closely with EC3 since then. After working EC3's Free the Narrative event, the pair will once again team this Saturday for the Blizzard Brawl event, which will take place in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Some of the proceeds will be donated to the victims of the Waukesha parade tragedy, and that includes money the two ex-superstars will be making from their meet and greet. Speaking recently to CBS 58 News, Strowman spoke about the show and how much the state of Wisconsin means for him. He said, "Myself and EC3 have been very blessed and fortunate in our lives with everything that has been allotted to us through professional wrestling. Working with WWE and now working outside of WWE. Wisconsin is near and dear to my heart. My sister and I are the only ones in my family born out of the state of Wisconsin. Waukesha is my back door, my backyard. All the money, all the proceeds raised from the autograph signing meet and greet will be donated to the families and the victims of the Waukesha Christmas parade." Strowman went on to say that he's hoping to raise at least $10,000 for the meet and greet, and that he'll be signing anything from pictures to action figures, and reiterated that 100% of the meet and greet money will go to the Waukesha victims and their families. Strowman, now going by the Titan Adam Scherr, will team with EC3 to face Jake Something and Rohit this Saturday at the Waukesha County Expo, with tickets still available. For those who cannot attend but still want to support the victims, there is a way, as all proceeds from the online 8x10 and t-shirt combo will be added to the overall total. On Twitter, EC3 encouraged fans to donate what they can to raise money, and with a stacked roster including Jeff Jarrett, Maria Kanellis, D'Lo Brown, Kevin Thorne, and Aubrey Edwards, we hope that plenty of money will be raised for the families affected by the horrific tragedy of last month. On last week's AEW Dynamite, CM Punk and MJF started a feud fans had been waiting for a long time to see, with a war of words that saw plenty of WWE references. Punk made reference to Triple H and The Miz, saying that MJF is a less famous version of WWE's A-lister, while the Salt of the Earth fired back saying Punk is PG and may as well be preaching hustle, loyalty, and respect, a reference to John Cena. AEW referencing WWE is nothing new, and plenty of fans like it, but one person who wasn't a fan was Ric Flair. Speaking on his Woo Nation podcast, the 16-time world champion said he enjoyed the promo, except for when the two brought up another company. He explained, "I thought the segment was good. I didn't really like the part where Punk mentioned The Miz. Regardless, you're right, why even bring up the other company? And I am saying on behalf of both companies and wrestlers that are WWE or AEW, but I'm a big fan of MJF. The kid can talk, and more than that, he carries himself like an absolute pro. He dresses. I cannot emphasize enough how important in my estimation it is to look professional, and that kid always looks sharp." Ironically, the promo has also been criticized for being too similar to Raw, as Disco Inferno has said that it was too long and drawn out, and that it resembled a Raw segment which sees superstars talk in the middle of the ring for a large portion of the show. There's no word on when MJF and Punk will actually wrestle, but last week's promo got a lot of people talking, even if the two AEW stars wouldn't be happy to hear what some people have to say. Later this month, WWE will return to Madison Square Garden and will once again host a Boxing Day live event in the world's most famous arena. Now, a huge card is being put together, as WWE Champion Big E is being advertised to defend against Seth Rollins inside a steel cage. This won't be the only cage match, as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will defend inside the cage against Bianca Belair. RK Bro, Finn Balor, Lashley, AJ Styles, and Rhea Ripley are just some of the names advertised, and with AEW making their own mark in New York as of late, WWE are doing all they can to get fans to fill MSG on December 26th. And we're ending today with NXT 2.0, as Mei Ying has been portrayed as a 1,000-year-old force for some time, but WWE are now turning back the clock. Karen Q had been the one playing Mei Ying, but the character was discarded from NXT 2.0 in October, and now we know that Mei Ying is done for good. This week, Karen Q appeared under the name Wendy Chu and was seen waking up on a couch with a sleeping mask on. Chu may feel rejuvenated, but what's happened is actually rather stale, as WWE once again spent time and effort building up a character just to let it be wasted and tossed aside. We are not sure what the plan would have been for Mei Ying as the head of Tian Sha, but clearly WWE didn't have any plans for her after ditching the character this week. It was in March that it was reported that Triple H and Shawn Michaels were all in on Tian Sha, who had impressed the right people backstage, but with the reins of NXT being taken away from the game by his father-in-law, the Mei Ying character is officially finished. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.